No problem. I shall transform your hair, create a masterpiece. I am an artiste with a pair of scissors.
My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop. Fresh from the barbershop, fly from the beauty salon. My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop. I got a show where you can listen and view. My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop. Bringing barbers and stylists together with the ScissorSalute. My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop. One cut, two cut, three cut, four. Nails done, hair done, everything did. Nails done, hair done, everything did. Oh, you fancy. Spending hours in salons on your hairstyle.
For the Lord protects his barbers and he makes the stubble grow.
Scissor! Salute! Well, I got all the posts up in time. Let me turn this off. Welcome to the ScissorSalute Show.
We here.
I'm your host, Eli the Barber, my co-host.
Jesse that cut.
Jesse that cut. We're waiting for Blaze and Blush. Jesse that cut and Blaze and Blush. We're also waiting for Dante Financial and Nadine Donovan as well. But we're here. Let's get into the meaning of the show, which is a gesture, compliment, greeting, lifestyle, and brand dedicated to bringing barbers and hairstylists together worldwide. And we use the ScissorSalute Show as an outlet to actually make that happen. Every Monday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we give the opportunity for the visual artists to come down here and showcase their skills live on the ScissorSalute stage, while also conducting interviews with them so you can find out how they got started, where they currently are, where they plan to be going on their hair journey. As you know, the age of social media has really brought us all together, the profession together. Outlets like us with the ScissorSalute Show and your show on Wednesday, Get Your Mind Right Wednesdays. It's bringing everybody together. And at the same time, it's also giving us the opportunity to get the profession back from these large companies that have been taking advantage of us for so long. Now, this is the age of the independent educator. As you see, Nadine Donovan will be coming down here tonight. She's an independent educator. She's able to make her bookings and use social media as a true weapon. Now, if you think, hey, you know what? I would like to try that. Because it's not really for everybody. But you feel like you want to try that, but you don't know if you have what it takes. You don't know if you're going to be nervous when you hear your voice on the microphone, or just really don't have an outlet to put it to the test. Very simple. Email us. And if you'd like to showcase, advertise with us, book us for your next event, email us ScissorSalute@yahoo.com. Leave all your contact information, and we'll get back to you in the order that the email's received.
That real quick, before we keep going, has been a big impact. If you guys are watching this right now, one, we need you to share this. The little button on the left-hand side, go ahead and share it. Oh, over there on that side. Yep, that's your left. Right, share that first, because this show really is, excuse me, about uniting those barbers and stylists. Since I've been on the show, the connections, the networking, you talked about the networking that we can have on the social media, but when you're here making these live connections with people, and again, learning that voice that you can build on a stage really is a practicality for a lot of us, because when you're here, you're on this social media device and you seem like you can get this thing going, but when you're in front of people, come on, man, you already know. That's a whole different story.
And we've had, I've told a couple guests, we had someone take it to the big stage at the CT Barber Expo, won first place. First place in front of thousands of people. He came down here, we said, you got 45 minutes to rock. Took an hour and a half.
It's a different story.
Different story, but he's rocking right now.
That's right.
I also like to mention that the show is co-produced by New York and Queen and the co-owner of the ScissorSalute, and produced by the owner of ScissorSalute, Sefro, of broadcasting live from Massapequa, New York, via StrongIsland.tv, and LA's on the boards. Well, we're gonna give you a recap of the show from 2 weeks ago. I'd like to say Happy New Year to everybody. Wow, I'm rude.
Man, New Year, here we
go.
go.
Rude of me, I didn't say that. Well, Happy New Year. And the question is, how long do you keep on saying Happy New Year for? Like, when is it end? Is there a line?
That's
is there a
question.
line? How about January 15th?
That's for a lot of people. January 15th might be it. I tell you what, I have hard enough time saying it, let alone writing it down. Remembering to write it down.
Did you see that? Someone said, how many people are going to be connecting the 7? You see, you make the 7 and just make it look like an hourglass.
Exactly.
Like, oh, that's funny right there. It is one. let's do a recap of the episode from 2 weeks ago. We had Lori and Lori of L&L Products. Ooh, let's get into that. Okay. Lori did the ponytail cut, and then we really learned a lot on the donation. And after we do this, we're going to go over what we learned here in the ScissorSalute show last week. This Lori right here, did the pigtail cutting. And she showed us the proper way how to separate the hair, measure the hair to cut, and how to properly package it. And Dean was over there talking as well. Now, the other Lori, I guess she styled the wig, and she put it on Cliff. Cliff was up. Organic products in your hair.
That's big for the shop. You know, for a lot of, you need options.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody can do all the chemicals nowadays. You know, my wife is one of those people. She can't do all those chemicals. So to have options in the shop for those people, that's becoming a very big market.
Well, did you see Barbershop Connect? I say about a month ago, they put a post up. I'm sorry, I'm a little under the weather. They put a post up of someone who had their face very irritated. And someone put dirty razors. How dare these barbers? Yep. It wasn't from the dirty razor. That's from not testing the Beijing on the client.
Burnt
and
them,
leaving it, vegan, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
From New York, I said Beijing. So that's from leaving that product in for too long. Maybe that person didn't go home and wash it out. The barber should have washed it out. You know, it's like that. And that's just, you got to do like test runs. But it's good to know that there is an option out there. And board member Jo Marie Anderson, cosmetology teacher at Wilson Tech, joined us as well. And she was sharing her story, how they all met, and the years that she's put into this profession, and still very passionate about what she does. And it was great to see the connection that everybody made. And co-founder and president of Hair We Share, we had Suzanne Chimera and Dean. Okay, so now this is when I'm going to take this time. Okay, each ponytail's how much money? How much? 125. No, it's 125, but per ponytail for sponsorship. 125. Eight pieces. Four. So what's 25? About 25 to sponsor a ponytail. Okay, so basically, you have someone who says they want to donate hair. They sit in your chair. What you're going to want to do is run number one, make sure it's not wet. Write that down. As rule number one, it's like a gremlin. It's like you can't get a gremlin wet because then you're going to have multiple gremlins. So you don't want the hair to get wet, because if the hair stays together, it's going to get all moldy. So now you're trying to do something good. You're like, I got my New Year's resolution. I'm going to give back to charity. And next thing you know, you're trying to do something good.
You got gremlin hair. Yeah.
Now what you're going to want to do is split the hair. What I seen last week
on both sides,
is they split the hair on the sides right to the ear.
Oh, okay.
They split the hair. You separate the hair. And then in the back, they separated it again. Right down the middle back here.
Oh, yes. Okay. Got it. Makes sense.
They separated the hair.
Yep.
And then it's almost like you got to measure it 8 inches up.
Okay.
And make sure everything is as even as possible. You tie it up, make sure it's secure. And you want to cut 1 inch above either the rubber band or whatever you use.
We have to hold it. Okay.
And then when you package it, you want to put it in a Ziploc bag. And make sure the hair is all facing one way. Because the hair, cuticles will lock up. They will lock up.
That's true, they will.
They will lock up. So, again, real quick. Don't donate wet hair. Separate the hair. Don't pull the hair back. Oh, yeah, that's like another rule. That's like don't donate the wet hair. Don't pull the hair back and then cut it. That's not going to do nothing, because the hair on the sides is going to be shorter from the hair on the back. So that's why you want to separate it into 4 different places. That's the minimum 4, I believe. You can do as much as you want, but Each ponytail needs a sponsorship of, I believe, $25. Okay, so yeah, put the rubber band.
Okay.
You want to cut 1 inch above the rubber band and put it away in a Ziploc bag.
Now, real quick, what is this for again? For those people that missed that part.
Well, this again, this is for Hair We Share.
Hair We Share,
This
okay.
is a nonprofit organization that makes wigs/crowns for those in need, kids in need. And we feel like it's something really good. It's great how all these people came together. And there it goes right there, hairweshare.org.
All right.
Or say you got a New Year's resolution and saying, you know what? Hey, I want to be a better person. Go to hairweshare.org and sponsor a ponytail. Sponsor the ponytail. I'll be like, hey, you know what? Can you send me a picture of the hair that I just sponsored? I want to post it up.
That's
I want to
beautiful.
make sponsor a ponytail challenge for 2018.
Yeah.
Because it's a nonprofit organization that making sure these kids get the proper crowns.
This is a good avenue. I know barbershops, salons ask about this. I know clients ask me about this all the time. Where can I donate my hair? Do you guys still do that? And so many people are, I don't know. So let people know, hairweshare.org.
Yes.
Hairweshare.org, right?
Hairweshare.org. Not only, excuse me, if you missed out what I said, you can go to hairweshare.org and find out the proper way how to do that. You could also go to the Instagram, hair_we_share_Suze, and Dean is actually explaining it in a 1-minute video how to properly donate the hair.
Beautiful.
Or you could go on there and sponsor a ponytail. Again, that's hairweshare.org. Who do we have this week?
This week we have showcasing in the studio demo with international salons in Melbourne and New York. One and only Nadine Donovan. Yes, she is in the studio.
She's chill.
Yeah, she's gonna be here. It's gonna be great. Can't wait to see what she has for you guys. I implore you guys, again, if you haven't shared yet, share now, because you want to be able to see what Nadine's gonna do. This is not just for stylists, for barbers too, because I know, I'm sure you do too, that when long hair comes in or you want to know what to do with it, we need to have a stylist touch at least to be able to handle
stop running
those
to the
things.
bathroom and stop going outside
right.
and smoking bogeys.
Losing all that money.
Don't
in
go
the
on a
long
lunch break.
run. Can't do that, man. You're losing money. So make sure you watch Nadine Donovan coming
I've
in.
been there. Someone's watching
we
this
all
right now
been-
like,
we all
man,
been
Eli, yo, man.
We've been here. We've all been
I've been there.
there.
But, you know,
yeah. But we're trying to change that. That's what this show's about.
That's exactly. We're trying to change it and become educated. We're also not saying, you know what, I'm going to do it and twist their head up and like Zeke them or something.
Yeah. You gotta learn how to do it. So Nadine's gonna show us how to do it. Also, we have calling in owner of the Cut Stop Barbershop located in Miami, Florida. Here's another big name, Mo, or in Instagram, Miami_barber. You got big.
Mo is fresh
yeah.
off of 2017, collecting 26 trophies in total and touring 8 different states in the 2017 year.
You guys want to talk about grinding and putting in the business aspect of barbering. He's been talking about, if you haven't followed him yet on Instagram, he's been really putting up these posts lately, really trying to captivate, especially not just the young ones in the business, but all of us, to really put the business aspect first. And we need that because sometimes we lose that in school. We get wrapped up in the haircut.
Yeah, you know? And I'll tell you this much, if I was battling, I fear that beard. I'd be like, oh man.
Gotta fear the beard.
I'd be on the phone like, yeah, I would like to register for the fade and beard. Yeah. Is Miami Barber gonna be there? Yeah. Okay, listen, now I'm just gonna want just a ticket. I'm not gonna want to go there, just want a ticket.
You know what?
He's that precise with it. I seen him at the Clipper Relay 2 years ago.
He's
the
amazing.
Clipper Relay. He did like a mullet mohawk. You know what I just said? That don't even make sense. He took the hair from the back here and brought it up front and made it a mohawk.
The creativity, man.
I was sitting there hosting and I was just like,
he's stuck.
Can he do that? Can he take the hair from the back of the head and put it on top of his head?
The rules?
Yeah.
No, but that's so he's calling in from Greenville, South Carolina. We have Keon Washington. On Instagram, it's Keon the Barber. And then in our financial segment, we have one and only founder of the BBA, Dante Financial. On Instagram, it is Dante_Stevenson.
Now, here's the whole thing with Keon. I'm gonna get into
Oh, yeah, sorry, I messed about Keon.
Keon
Just as
actually
good.
came here
Yes.
to the show from South Carolina. So to all the barbers and hairstylists, makeup artists that are watching this show, and you're in the tri-state area, this man came from South Carolina to come here on the show. And we've had people travel from all over the place. Now, you're starting off new year, new me. Why not sit there and try to set your value and try to set a date? Try to get all the barbers together and email us, ScissorSalute@yahoo.com. Make a date. Hey, you never know. You'll have fun. You bring that one barber that doesn't want to do anything on social media. Bring him. Bring him.
You got to do that.
Change his life.
The teamwork, right? We always say that teamwork makes the dream work. But if you guys can make it out to the show, especially this show, ScissorSalute show, I guarantee you, I know for me personally, it has accelerated my want and drive in the industry. It kind of woke me up a little bit. So I always say, thank you to the ScissorSalute show for having me on the first time and giving me the opportunity, because you might not get the opportunity to speak your mind or showcase your talent, at a trade show, because a trade show ultimately wants revenue, right? They need that so you're either gonna have to pay for it, or you have to be big enough so that you can attract people to that trade show, and then they put you on in front of everybody else. But what's beautiful about this program is that this is the spot. This is the spot. Not only, yes, of course, we want the. We want to
learn
see
how to donate hair.
There's so many layers to the show that you can get on. Yes, calling in is one thing. Talking about what you love, inspiring others. Like, if you're really about that education life, you're really about that hustle that everybody talks about, then do what Keon did. Brought his group here all the way a couple states and put them on the show. Do that especially if you're in the tri-state area. You have to come down.
Keon, the story with Keon is he's one of the founders of Goonies. He was at an event, and he took it upon himself to just do some work on a hairstylist's hair. Everybody came together. They all sat down and ate, and the Goonies were born. He's also with Hair Education Forum, which is one of the biggest outlets on Facebook, one of the biggest groups where they share information and try helping each other. He also has his own brand that's coming out. He owns his own studio / barbershop / photo state. He's gonna get really into it. And then he has a big announcement of his new team that he's part of. And he's gonna be also talking about the BBA.
Nice.
So now, let's get into what I've been seeing. And I'm sorry. Again, work with me, because I'm a little underneath the weather.
Set up, so he's about to break it down, guys.
4 or 5. I'm gonna try my best. So, everyone, you're scrolling, you see that, oh man, new year, new me. There is nothing wrong with that. If you didn't accomplish your goals from last year, why not try to set new goals this year and try to accomplish them? If you never set goals, why don't you say this is the year? One meme that I constantly see, and it's true. Get rid of the negativity. Get rid of the negativity. If your cipher, your group of friends, your co-workers, whatever you want to call, if they're on some this person always caught up, just trying to do better, what's the problem? What's your take on that, Jesse? The New Year's resolution?
Listen, I think resolutions, I understand the stigma behind the resolution. Some people don't like that because sometimes break it, or you might have those people that you just said that kind of like look down on you, like for setting these goals and you want to do better. Listen, first off, if you're around those people, one, you need to cut them out. That needs to be a goal off the bat, right? Cut them out. If they're mad because you're making goals to better yourself, if you're in a shop and you're like that, maybe you can't cut them out all the way, but man, they should at least run it and mess with your mind. That's really what I talk about a lot, is messing with your mind. So goals, that hustle, that drive that you need to have to get something done needs to start somewhere. So who cares? Honestly, like, who cares? Like, if you're going to the gym, if that's your thing, and you're just starting, and you have those other people looking at you like, oh, here's that guy that coming in and he wants to do better, and you'll forget that. No, don't worry. Tunnel vision needs to be on those goals. That's why you need to set those goals, because if you don't have those things written down, and something to look to in the future, then it's easy to get sidetracked. It's easy to get sidetracked by what other people are thinking, other people are saying, especially because we're on social media all the time. Man, like there's so much stuff going on there. Like you might have a hater or somebody that's saying something. You have to look at those long-term goals, short-term goals, whatever it is, and just say, forget the rest. Like this is what's gonna happen. So if you're gonna set a New Year's resolution, if you're gonna set a goal for this year or next year or 2 years down the road, go ahead and make that happen by starting something. But don't just listen to us and say, oh, that sounds like a good idea. And I'm gonna watch this show and then I'm gonna learn all this stuff and then not do anything about it. Like do something, like start, right?
Yes, definitely. Well, I'm gonna take the chance to salute Kelvin Rosado, John Livingston, and Barbara Masquerade. Barbara has come from New Jersey, like Atlantic City, New Jersey. She's been on the show like 4 times.
And I want to say congratulations to Barbara, because this is somebody that set out a goal to do something. She wanted to be an educator. She was kind of getting a little, disturbed by, not being put on and, putting in the work and people saying no. She put herself out there. I saw her in Orlando. I saw her at IBS. She's putting in the work, putting in the grind, and finally she got called in. And you can drop it in the comments, Barbara, about who you're with right now. But I just want to say congratulations to you, ScissorSalute, because of all the great work you've been doing and not letting those negative thoughts or negative feelings stop you from your goal. So ScissorSalute to that.
That's another thing. It's not always going to be your enemies that are stopping you from achieving your goals. It could be family members. It could be your closest people that try to stop you from achieving your goals. And then you're sitting there and you're scrolling and you see somebody from California leave a comment on your post on some, wow, you're so inspirational. You're sitting there like, bro, really? This guy, Charlie the barber from California, says he loves the show and I can't even have my own friends take a picture, ScissorSalute in a picture. So it's like that. Yeah, probably.
Manic Panic, thank you.
She's with Manic Panic now?
She's with Manic Panic now.
And that's what she set out to do. She said she was going to get the Manic Panic and she was about to do some damage. That's what she's about to do. Yes, she is. So I'm over here sharing right now. We are waiting for some of our
Can I also, I want to say somebody that's on the Facebook right now that just said hi to me. I want to say hello to Season McLean Bennett, also known on Instagram as The Social Barber. Also takes care of the Barber Takeover online. She takes care of both of those. I want to say ScissorSalute to her. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me in my career. If you guys have not had a chance to check out The Social Barber, please go ahead and check her out, Season Bennett. Either you can put in Season Bennett whatever, search everything, The Social Barber. Pick up the $25 book that you can pick up. You can get it, put it on your phone, whatever you want. I guarantee you it's going to teach you the ins and outs of social media and how to use that to benefit yourself in your career as a barber. And it's not a really technical read, even though she comes from a very analytical background. She just left the Fortune 500 company to do this, to help the barbering industry. And so I want to thank you, ScissorSalute, to you very much for watching tonight and also everything that you're doing online.
Man, he's so well spoken. He's like Stephen A. Smith, I swear.
I ain't like that.
So let's get into
my hairline ain't that far back. No,
let's get into you can see that Jesse's well spoken. And speaking of that, let's get into Get Your Mind Right Wednesdays, that a stream that you do on Instagram and Facebook at the same time.
Yeah, so got the idea from what you guys are doing here. You guys went out and put it together a show. A lot of people and educators are putting together different ideas or different topics. Honestly, for me, as much as it was something to get people in the industry thinking about not just the talent, because skills in particular come cheap. You can go into YouTube and find them for free. You can learn those things. But when it comes to getting your mind right, that's priceless. Like, you can have all the skills in the world and then tell yourself, I can't do it. And then that beats you up and negativity just seeps inside and all of a sudden you stop doing what you're gonna do. Or you might be on this road like Barbara was. She's on this road to doing what she wants to do, and then all the no's. You
can't.
The can'ts. You're not going to be able to do this. You won't be able to. I mean, and not even on a really bad front, but just like you go to a company and they tell you no. You go to another company and they tell you no. Because that's what you want to do. But she didn't let that mindset seep into she can't do it. She kept grinding, she kept pushing, and that's really what that Get Your Mind Right Wednesday is about. Because unfortunately, and maybe I don't know about your family situation. I know personally from my family, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but a challenge that we have with one of our boys is that he does suffer from some mental illness. And I've seen such a bright young man sometimes, and it's not his own fault, but just give into what is the mental capacity of the brain and how powerful that really is over everything else. So I think that that's pushed me to want to help others in any small, if there's any small little value to what I'm giving, is just the ability to be positive about what you want to do in life, even if there's other obstacles. Because granted, I'm not always happy, like we're not always happy, but we make it happen.
But you see, and I don't mean it because both of these barbers know that I love them. Both of the barbers know, A-Rod and JC the barber, both know that I got love for them. But why is it something like Get Your Mind Right Wednesdays or Tariq Jackson's show that's coming on tomorrow, Tuesday,
yeah.
where he's going to be streaming and talking to barbers? It's Tuesday, right?
Yep, Tuesday morning, 9 a.m.
And the ScissorSalute show, why is it that that's not being discussed on the repost pages? People would rather make flyers up of A-Rod and JC the barber and say A-Rod versus JC.
Yeah. Yeah, this is drama.
That's that. But, I mean, that's what I mean. We got shows like Get Your Mind Right, ScissorSalute Show, Tariq Jackson, doing positive things for the profession.
Yeah.
But people want So I see someone make a flyer for this.
It's purple, right?
Yeah, they made a flyer. I don't even know if they got A-Rod's permission or JC's permission.
Probably not. But they put it out there. But that's what I'm talking about. So I think that because so many, especially our young ones that are coming through school, and I don't want to say young like they're kids, but anybody going through school that first come up in life, like when you're going from the school to the barbershop, or even if you want to get into the school arena to become whatever, whether it's this industry or something big, or whatever it is, to better your life, like you have to push past the I can't or the worry, the fear that you're going to fail. I think a lot of us get wrapped up. I mean, that happens, right? Like, we stop ourselves a lot because you talked about the goals. Like, are you worried about what your friends are going to say in the background and other barbers in the shop? Like, that guy's taking another picture of his friend. Come on,
He's so
man.
full of himself.
Yeah, no, they don't see your vision. If they're not here with you mentally, they can't tell you that you're wrong or what you're doing. And you're not gonna. Hopefully, you're not cutting people, and there's wrong things. But as far as the mentality to grow yourself, you got to keep pushing past that. And I think that's why so many, this show, Tyreek's show, my show, other people in general, entrepreneurs in general that are there in the business, big dogs in the business, are talking so much positivity because they saw what happened to other people. So many people were on the cusp of breaking through in their life, on the cusp, doing it for, and you can't do that. Before I go into that, I'm thinking, you can't just do it for a little while. How long have you been barbering now?
18 years.
18 years. I've been barbering with a license for 10, give or take some more before that. You can't just do it for a little while, get out of school, and then think because you're in a shop that charges $50 a haircut or $25 a haircut, that's it, right? That might be your first goal, that first level to make it. But man, like, challenge yourself. Don't get complacent with just that. Mo actually talked about this recently on his page, that how could you have the ability to make as much money as you want in the shop, set prices kind of where you want, but then all of a sudden you come in, you make $100 for the day, and you check out for the rest of the day. I'm good. Well, I made enough to buy my J's for the week.
That's something we talk about all the time here on the ScissorSalute Show.
I know.
You can't sit there and complain that there's no money to be made when you're. And this is 4 years. We've been talking about it. You show up late.
Not new.
You leave early. Again, extra cigarette break, bathroom break. It's slow. It's slow. I've been in the shop before. It's slow. From like 10 to 3, 10 to 4. Slow. Mm-hmm. Maybe cut 2 or 3 people. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, I don't know what it is. They're dropping off like a school bus right in front of the shop. And I got to rock past the clock.
Yep.
I got to rock past the clock, and I'm going to get that money. So,
and you can't.
And hold on, one more thing.
Yep, no.
And another thing, I'm not gonna stress a female barber that she looks good and she can cut good. I'm not gonna stress the celebrity barber coming in there because you're gonna be in control of yourself. There's money for everybody. The problem is, are you gonna be there to get it? We are in a profession where you have to be there. I'm sorry, your attendance is very important. Now, if you're gonna sit there and okay, well, I'm gonna charge more and be there less. I mean, there's exceptions to everything.
Sure.
What I'm saying is not foolproof. There's gonna be exceptions.
Yeah, and you can get to that point if you're there and you're comfortable. We have a barber in our shop who is a fantastic barber, but I know she has certain things that she wants to do in her life, and she's there 3 days a week. She sets her schedule. To me and my schedule, it looks small. It looks like a little bit, but it's allowing her to do what she wants. Man, that's good for her. And so if your goal is to do X, Y, and Z, maybe this is not the come all be all for you. It's maybe a push to something else. That's fine too. But for those that want to make it and this be your career and build on that, then yeah, your attendance, man, that's a big thing. And you can't, because what happens if you leave for that break when it's slow, or you leave for an hour or two when it's slow, that person that comes in, that might come in for that during that hour, now you're not there. They're going to somebody else. Now that's somebody else's client, possibly.
Right.
So that's that. Then you're thinking about that one haircut. But what if that becomes their client for the rest of the year? So now it's not just $20 that you lost, or $25 or $50. You lost that times every 2 weeks a month or once a month. So $500 a year, whatever it is. You have to start thinking like that. Big long-term things. How's that person going to fill my pockets if I leave and they're not here? So attendance is big.
Yeah, attendance is big. Oh man, I was about to drop a gem.
I'm sorry.
No. It was leading to that. Again, if you see me, think I'm being rude, I'm sharing the program on Facebook, as you should do. If you like what you're seeing, share it. We are waiting for Nadine Donovan to come down here. She's going to be showcasing live on the show, doing a tutorial, and we're also going to be doing exclusive interviews with Miami_Barber and Keon the Barber as well. It's going to just come down to common sense. Just grind out, stop pointing the finger, and really take care of business. If you're gonna say something, pretty much do your best that you could do to do it. We're gonna wish you the best of luck, and we're here to motivate you. If you're feeling, if you know someone that just might have been on some, you know what, I'm done, I don't want to do anything, send it to them. Copy the link. You can text it to them. You can email it to them. You can tag them on Facebook.
That's right.
And we're about to take our first phone call. Hopefully that gem comes back.
No, it's big, man, and it's unfortunately it's not going to go away. The reason why those topics, like you said, we've talked about this for 4 years, is because we can continuously have these things going on.
Go ahead, let's let it rip. Oh. Hello, you're live on the air with the ScissorSalute show.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy, Miami Barber. What's up, Eli?
Oh,
Miami Barber calling in, the owner of Cut Stop Barbershop located in Miami, Florida. Fresh off of an 8-state tour in 2017, racking up 26 trophies. And in 2016, I seen him in Florida. I was just talking about the mullet that you pulled off to the front mohawk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, can he do that? Is that legal? I also had a chance to see him compete this year in numerous events, a good handful of events. What made you really want to go out and start competing the way you did?
Well, not many people know this. Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah,
yes.
We can hear you.
Okay, not many people know this, but I'm actually from a small island called St. Croix. I'm from the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Okay.
And I quickly outgrew the barbering industry there, and I just made my way to the U.S. Part of the reason I ended up in the U.S. was because of Solid Gold magazines. I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with him. That was one of the only sources we had of up-to-date haircuts in the Virgin Islands. And in the back, he always had the ads of the MLB trade show barber battles.
Nice.
And that made me come to America and say, one day I'm going to compete. But I never wanted to do it while I was working in somebody else's shop, because I didn't want to represent anybody else's shop. I wanted to represent my own. Okay. So as soon as I opened my shop and I had it established and the business was flowing very well, and I felt confident that I could start taking some time to do these things, I took my chance at my very first barber battle in 2015. It was the Final Cut Expo.
Yes, and Salute to Major League Barbers, the original barber brand.
That's right.
I say this on the show.
Yeah.
You know they have like a whole book of like good barber morning.
That it's amazing what Nori is and
You
that group
talk
has
to
been put
Nori,
together.
talk to Nori and Joe Flano.
Beautiful, humble guy, Nori. I mean, Joe is awesome too.
Yeah, well, salute to them. Again, he's 15 years into this profession. And give us the name and address of the barbershop, your establishment.
My shop is called the Cut Stop Barbershop, and it's in Palmetto Bay, Florida.
Mo, can I ask you a question real quick? This is Jesse that cut. One, salute to you, my brother. I want to thank you for everything that you're putting out there for these young. I want to say young. I keep saying that for just barbers and stylists in general that follow your page. The business aspect, what you did, wanted to do for your team, making sure they got their business right. I like what you did on that. You just hit on something that I maybe you can elaborate on. When you came to the U.S., before everybody started seeing you on tour. Going to all these events, you said something about your shop. You waited until when to start doing that?
Till I felt like my shop was established. Till I felt like my shop was strong enough and established to where my presence didn't have to be in the shop for the shop to run the way it would if I was in the shop.
Oh, that's
priceless.
That's hard to accomplish.
Now, do you have a shop manager for when you're gone?
No, actually, I have 9 they're very well-rounded guys. Everybody here is serious about business. Nobody here is trying to do what I do is I teach my guys that what you do not only affects you, it affects the person next to you. So everybody here in my shop is no nonsense, man. These guys come, they got families to take care of, and everybody understand we're here on the same mission.
Yeah, I see that, and again, it's a salute to you and all the accomplishments that you made for 2016 and 17. But what you've been, coming off, leaving almost like gyms. I like to call them gyms. I'm pretty sure you heard the terminology before. What was why did you want to do that?
You see in this industry, you see a lot of guys, educators, motivational speakers. I feel like everybody's giving the same information. Everybody's giving you how to build a clientele, some tips on how to do a fade better, how to get that line crisp, how to make your pictures come out bright. And then, they teach you how to get more money if you actually follow it. Their tricks work, their advice works. But nobody tells you that as an individual, even though you're in somebody else's shop, you can establish yourself as your own LLC. And you can pay taxes and get your write-offs and everything just like you were a business. You don't have to be a barbershop to be a business.
Like
as long as you are self-employed, you are a business. If you rent a chair from somebody, you are self-employed.
Yeah.
You just have their rules and you're in their establishment. But you are your own business and you can conduct yourself as a business owner.
Well, I'm glad you don't have to deal with, I pay you rent, so I should be able to come and go as I please. Because that happens a lot, man. I pay you rent, so I should be able to come and go.
How do you come for other business owners that want to get to a spot where you're at, where they can leave and do all these things and whatnot? Based on what you guys just said, especially what Eli just said, how do you combat that, or how do you talk to your other barbers about that particular subject? Like, okay, they're paying the rent, and you set up that rental agreement with them, and they're saying, well, I made the rent, I should be able to do what I want. Do you allow them to do what they want, or are there certain values or rules that you have in place for each particular barber there?
In reality, I'm not very strict with my barbers on their hours. Everybody's life is different. Like I currently have a barber who's he's going on his first child with his fiance, and he runs in and out a lot for appointments. But my thing is, when you're here, that you handle business.
Yeah.
I don't set hours for my barbers because, honestly, it takes a lot to be into everybody's life and be, you don't know what people got going on. Emergencies pop up, everything. But they handle business. They handle business. They let me know when they're not going to be in. I don't have a regularly occurring of clients being left without haircuts when they have appointments and things of that nature. I got some, like I said, I have some very responsible guys. They've been in the business for a long time. They're not new to the industry. I have three young guys, but they follow suit very well, and they handle business pretty well, man. I don't have to stay on top of my guys too much. I don't have to be running around playing drill sergeant. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's not always easy to find a good squad like that out in the barbering world, but that's once you have it established, man, that's a beautiful thing to do. Real quick question: if I am a barber that's coming into a barber battle, this is a separate subject. We're going to switch subjects real quick on you, since
All right.
you have so much experience in this field. If they're coming and they're about to do this barber battle, one, what should they keep in mind when they're coming into it? And then two, if they're coming into a barber battle and you're in that barber battle, what do they do?
Pray. That's what they do. They pray.
Now, start with the first question.
well,
So if I've never
well-
done a barber battle, like what tips can you give somebody that wants to kind of maybe do that, or even if they don't want to do that, how can they make the best out of it?
Well, I've said this. I've said this to a lot of barbers. When I see them at competitions and stuff, they always ask me for advice. I always tell them, we do this every day. This is nothing new. We do this 20, 30 times a day, every day for the last couple of years. Just have fun. You know what I'm saying? Have fun. I'm one of those guys that before a category or a competition starts, I'm one of those guys that I walk around and I shake everybody's hand.
Yeah, he does.
Because there's a lot of tension, and the word competition, it makes guys, they come with their game face on and they come ready to fight. And when you walk around and you shake everybody's hand, then you see them shaking each other's hands.
It's true.
And it relieves that tension and lets them know, yo, we're here to compete, but we're here to compete on a friendly level. You know what I'm saying? It's not like as soon as they say clippers up, we're gonna put the clippers down and then everybody's gonna start throwing hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're all here because we feel we have a talent. We wanna, showcase our talent. And we actually built up the courage that a lot of the onlookers wish they had, which we actually signed up and decided to battle. So just bring your best. And the judges will notice. If you did the best haircut, the judges will see it.
Mo, let's go over some of the brands that you represent. Do you care to mention them?
Some of the
brands.
well, I'm currently endorsed by Rolda. That's the only brand that I'm endorsed by currently.
Okay, can you give us, what does that include? Because some people sitting there right now like, I want to get sponsored, I want to get endorsed. So the first part of the question is, what does that include? And the second part of the question is, what's the difference between endorsed and sponsorship?
Well, a lot of sponsored barbers, are receiving care packages. They're getting they're getting some love. They might be getting checks and stuff like that. But you don't see them anywhere but on Instagram showcasing that product. An endorsed barber is receiving a check. He has a signed contract with their company to do X amount of shows for X amount of dollars with all expense paid.
Ooh. Okay,
So
there's
a difference, just so for people that didn't hear that. A lot of brands, like you're saying, will have you be an ambassador for them. They might give you some products to put online, or they might help, give you some stuff, and that's nice to be on there. But what you're doing with Rhonda and many other people might want to Rhonda. Sorry, Rhonda.
Rhonda, I know her. She's flying on the way.
Rhonda, my bad. My bad. So what you're doing with them is, that's a different. This is a different level to that, because once you start getting paid for those things, you want to start doing that as well. Yeah, thank you for that.
And okay, so we've been talking about New Year, New Me. Can we end this interview finding out what's new for 2018? What you're trying to accomplish? And elaborate. Go ahead, let it rip.
Personally, what I'm trying to accomplish is to teach and establish every single one of my barbers as an independent business within my shop, and their success is what I'm looking forward to in 2018. As far as everything else, with my shop, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Everything's running smoothly. Everything's running well. Been successful for 5 years. This February will be 5 years in business. I'm very happy for that. And also, when it comes to the competitions, I plan to continue doing them. I was asked to judge a few competitions. Not a fan of judging, and I don't think I'll do it no more.
Well, what you need to do is just continue the scissor salute. That's for free. You put the gesture out to your forehead, 2 fingers, and you do that. That's for free right there. I do want to leave you with a little bit of information about the BBA, and I love the way you are teaching the people that work at your establishment that it's a business. It's not just a barbershop. I think that's the problem when people in this profession like, oh, I want to open up a salon. I want to open up a barbershop. You're limiting your money when you say them terminologies. No, you want to open up a place of business. Place of business is going to be able to grow. Barbershop salon is going to give you a certain amount of money. You're really enclosing that in. But we also have the BBA, which is the Barber and Beauty Association, and we're trying to establish the profession to have benefits, females to have maternity leave, and also a retirement plan, and at the same time, counseling for money management. As you know, we get the money in our hand, that money can go. So again, you can go to Seth Road, New York and Queen. They have the post up on their pages. Now you want to tell them about the BBA, and it's great that you're talking about and teaching them about taxes, because a lot of people really don't understand the importance of that until they go and buy a car or they go try to buy a house and see.
Well, there's no knowledge being given to us about taxes, and the lack of knowledge has us scared. They don't understand that in reality taxes works in your favor.
Yep.
Because they teach us to they tell us, oh, don't pay the government, don't give them your money, and all this stuff. But in reality, us as independent business owners, like I said, as barbers, when you establish yourself as a business entity and you sit with the right accountant, once they go through your business expenses, everything that you spent, and your accountant write-offs, all your write-offs, your deductions, donations that you have made, honestly, if he does it right, and 9 times out of 10, if you got a good accountant, he will. At the end of the year, you practically always end up winning.
Yep.
And that money that you owe the government is pretty much, you either break even or you end up ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? Because your write-offs usually tend to total up to more than what you would owe them anyways.
Mo, I want to say, this is Jesse that cut again. Thank you so much for all your knowledge that you've been dropping, especially that right there. I don't think any of us have seen or know of a CEO of a company, big, gigantic company that is not paying their taxes. So if we want to be that person in those seats making those money, guess what? We're going to have to start thinking the same way as well. I look forward to seeing you soon, man. I'm going to come down to Miami hopefully sometime this year, and maybe we could hook up.
And if you're gonna be sitting there throwing the word,
you're welcome to my shop, man. You stop by anytime. Anyway, everybody, that's for everybody.
My
shop is open to all barbers, anybody that ever wants to stop by, man. I welcome you.
Thank you. And I also would like to say, if you're gonna be sitting there calling a profession, then you might as well be professional about it. Mo, thank you so much for calling into the ScissorSalute Show. But before we let you go, please let everybody know how they can get in contact with you and all your social media information that you'd like to share with us. Please do so now. The stage is yours.
All right, so you could contact me on Instagram at Miami _Barber. All right.
Well, hold up, Mo. Real quick, tell us about the nonprofit nonprofit event that you're doing.
All right, so I just started a nonprofit. It's fairly new. I just finished all the paperwork on it. It's called Barbers for Barbers, and I created another write-off for all the barbers out there. All those clippers that you got sitting around your drawer for years. They're still good. They're still functional.
Yeah, they are.
Those clippers could be a blessing to a barber in a third world country.
I like that.
We see the many posts on Instagram. These pictures of barbers in India, Africa, and all these places cutting hair on the side of the road, and they don't have proper equipment. So we could take that equipment and in return give the barbers in America another write-off to put on their taxes, and take those clippers and give them to somebody who could repurpose them and actually make a better living and better themselves in the barbering industry that they're in.
Well, thank you so much, Mo, calling in, and wish you nothing but the best of luck. All right, take it easy. Is there anybody there clicking off, or we just gonna keep on there?
No, there's nobody here. We're closed.
I'm
on our side
about them on the board. There we go. Mo, thank you so much for calling into the ScissorSalute Show.
All right, I got it.
All right, okay. And okay, so we still heard a phone call. And wow, so that was a lot of good information. It's funny that they mentioned the taxes because when we first started the show, Sefro, did we or did we not discuss that about 4 years ago? We discussed that
the same
medical
thing, man.
insurance and stuff. We've always been big on that, and that's going to be the direction that the Scissor Salute show will be taking this year, alongside the BBA, which is the Barber and Beauty Association. And now, the whole purpose of that is to have benefits, retirement plans, and for the females in our profession, have maternity leave. Yes, maternity leave. At the same time, money management will be available as well. And Mo emphasized that he's trying to get everybody in his place of business to pay taxes. The BBA will not be for everybody. For the simple fact, if you're not paying your taxes, you're not going to probably most be able to be inside the BBA. But that's not saying that you won't be able to work with Dante Financial. You can hit him up on IG, Dante_Stevenson. Just let him know the Scissor Salute show sent ya.
That's right.
Okay, so Nadine Donovan is here. She can be showcased. She's all mic'd up, all hyped up, ready to go. You know, Nadine, she came here to the show. She did like five different models one time. 5. And she's probably going to correct me and be like, Eli was 8. I swear, she was ready to like grab people off the street. She's very motivated.
Yep.
She came over here from Australia. Again, independent educator. And to me, it shows a whole lot when you're an independent educator.
You know what I love about Nadine too is I've had a chance to meet her outside of the show. Met her in Orlando. Well, I met her at other places, but I recently saw her in Orlando. And I don't want to say unlike some other people, but above other people that I've met in the industry, when you talk to Nadine or you see her on the show, she is just as genuine and just as nice when you meet her in person as she is whenever she's doing any of her education. I think that that's big, to be the same person that you are no matter what in your life. And that was beautiful. So, man, look forward to seeing what she has going on today.
Well, while we're at it, I'm going to say in Michigan, she'll be there February 18th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Brides Braids Boot Camp. You can follow her on Instagram, Personalized Hair Design with an S, because she's from Australia. So they don't do personalized with a Z.
No.
They do with an S.
Yeah. That's how it's
And we
spelled.
definitely like to Scissor Salute. The funny thing is, I remember when she first came on the show, they showed pictures of her. Mm-hmm. So here she is. I'm like, wow, this lady's really humble. They showed pictures of her in Australia. Her class is like mob deep. It's like a lot of people in there. There's a lot of people in the classes. And she's very passionate about helping you learn.
Yeah.
There's a difference between teaching and just getting up there and going through the routine over and over again, and making sure that the people are picking up what needs to be picked up. She's come on the show and let us know she's personally coming up to everybody, making sure that, that they understand what she's saying.
Yes.
She knows the value of money, the value of time. She's a mom, so she knows how it is. She married, and she knows how it is. So how are you going to have people come to the class and just teach, and then they don't know what's going on?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, she met up with Rebecca Taylor.
Oh, yeah?
And helped Rebecca Taylor with a little bit of braiding. And Rebecca Taylor, she's a crazy hair colorist. One of the founders of Hef. She is huge, like Trump says, she's huge. And Nadine got to meet up with her and show her how to do a braid. And I believe that she did the braid. And when it comes to braiding, that don't always have to be neat.
Do you guys have a
like
braider in your barbershop?
No.
I
We
don't
do have a couple of braiders that have come to the shop. We've had one, her name is Marlene. She's come to the shop. We've had another one, I guess, some Corin come down, and then we got another one come. Her name begins with a P. She's nice. But if you're in the Long Island area, there she goes.
There she
If
is.
you're in the Long Island area and you need them Allen Iverson braids, Potisek cuts from King of Blades got you.
There you go.
Nadine, are you mic'd up?
I think so. I think I'm on.
Nice.
Hi,
All right.
guys.
So without further
How
ado,
are
we
you?
have Nadine Donovan. Take it over. Let us know what you got.
I love your hair, Nadine.
It's
It looks
it's
good.
very blonde.
No, I haven't seen it in a blonde moment yet. That was good. I like that.
How you
Aren't
going?
you a natural blonde?
Naturally
you
very,
colored your hair?
naturally very light. Not as light as this, but it was time to change it. I
Change it
think.
up a little
whatever.
bit. Nice, looks good.
Do what you gotta do.
Thanks. Well, I was going
Doesn't
through.
even be self-conscious.
I was going through a lot of photos the other night, and my mum was asking me about how many different colours have you had in the last 2 years, and I ran out of space to send to her. Anyway, how are you, everyone? How are you, Eli? It's been a while since I've seen you too.
Yeah, it's been a while, but it's always great.
Yeah,
It's been a while, but it's always worth the wait.
that's good. All right, guys. So I'm going to be showcasing. This is my little model, Julia. Isn't she pretty? Julia's in cosmetology school, and she's also my assistant. She's going to be working with me 2 days a week in the salon, and she's fantastic. All my clients so far have actually commented on how personable she is, and it's a really great relief to me because she's doing some great things. Especially one of the things that she does extremely well is rinse out the colours, shampoo the colours out. It's one of the hardest things to get across even to qualified hairdressers, to take the colour out, because right at the back of the nape, down at the nape here, it's really hard to get all the colour out. And the clients have just given me tremendous feedback from Julia. So there's Julia. Now Julia has a ton of hair. I'm going to spin her around so you guys can see. So her hair is very thick and really long. And I've dampened her hair down just a small amount so that the curling, so see how it's all one length? I've dampened her hair down slightly, so it's only just like fairly much, I don't know, it's like, it doesn't feel wet, it's not leaving dampness on the hands or anything. It's more, no. Anyway, so I've given her a little ponytail on the top just here. The reason I've made it damp is so that the curling iron will set the curls in place, a little bit like when you're ironing a shirt and you mist it down with a little bit of water, or that little trigger on the iron will actually help you smooth the crinkles out. So I've taken a small amount of Julia's hair, just taken, as you mentioned, Rebecca Taylor, who is the founder of HEF, by the way, Eli. she was the one that she found it. Yeah, she's the guru, and she's got a lot of admin. Keon's an admin on HEF, actually.
And Keon?
Keon too. Yeah. Yes.
Actually,
And-
Keon got an
amongst many
announcement
others.
for you. Y'all got a little thing going on. This is good
Oh, you
right
know
here.
this already? Good news travels fast, huh?
How about you know?
Doesn't take long. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you? Anyway, we'll get back to we'll get onto that later, but we'll get onto Julia's hairstyle for now. So this section through the top here on the crown is taken, doesn't have to be neat. The whole hairstyle is going to be quite textured. But as you can see, this is Julia's natural texture. It's all one length. And I've found this tool, this little padded tool here, different to the donut that's typically used in hairstyling to create fullness and padding. I don't know if you can see. I'll put it in an area where you can see it, maybe against my shirt. There we go, that way. Yeah, so see how it's split in the middle? This is made out of foam. It's made out of wire on the inside, so it's quite, you can manipulate it to any shape that you like. So I'll put my 2 fingers in between that and grab the hair and pull it through. And then, without having to go all the way to the top, you can begin winding this down. And it will create a bit of a donut-like shape, but it's quite quick to work with. And then you wrap that around and bend to keep it in place, and then you can spread the hair out. So that eliminates a big amount of hair for this hairstyle. Sometimes one of the hardest things to do is figure out where you are going to put all of this hair for an up style. Now, I'm not going to be putting Julia's hair completely up unless we have the time, and I will convert it into a full up style. But I want some height, and I want somewhere to anchor the pins. So see, this base area here is going to be a great area for me to put the pins in. If you tip right back, we'll be able to see on the camera there. So see how it's created this almost donut shape through the top here? Now all I have to do is secure it so that it's in. And if I turn her to the side, and this is where the mirror is really important in the salon, you can turn your client to the side so that you can see exactly what shape is going to happen through the top here. So I want quite a lot of height on the top, and eliminated possibly 1/8 of her hair already, so I don't even have to deal with the rest of this hair. All right. So I'm using a Nicholas French magnetic bracelet. I believe Pink Pewter have got some really pretty ones with diamantes on it now. They almost look like, well, they are jewellery, but they're magnetic. So if you want something a little bit bling bling, you can look up Pink Pewter. They have some really gorgeous bands. But for now, I like the Nicholas French one. It's very robust and it holds quite a lot of pins at one time. Something that I get a lot of requests for these young girls especially, I've had 2 appointments for the 21st of June or for prom season, and they are return clients from last year, which is great. So they're both having colour, an updo of some kind, and some makeup as well, which is great. It's really great for me. A lot of the girls want to keep all their length and show all their length. One of the things that we make the mistake of doing as hairdressers is we'll curl the whole lot of the hair and we'll remove a lot of the length. By curling it, the hair will jump up. So the way I like to show and demonstrate the curl is, I'm going to might have to bring Julia around this side actually to demonstrate. Sorry, is that a pain? So what I'll do is take out the 2 side sections so that I'm not going to tangle up the hair that I'm not working with. And with big sections of hair, I like to tie it in a knot and then keep the clips. Those big alligator clips are good for keeping a lot of hair out of the way, but they're not good for holding small amounts of hair. The Tangle Teaser brush is the best for getting the knots out in very thick, heavy hair. And this one here is by High Lift. I think Tangle Teaser is a brand name, but this one here is by High Lift. But there's many companies that have brushes just like this that will help you get the knots out, and it makes it very comfortable for the client as well. I'm going to use the Muck curl stick. And then the clips that don't have any teeth or any areas on it that tangles easily is what I like to use for the sections that I need to keep using. So the way I like to keep the length on the girls with really long hair is I'll warm up the hair shaft with the iron just to smooth it out a little bit. And then from about halfway down, I'll begin to create a curl pattern, making sure that the ends are completely smoothed over, and that's why the glove is really important, not only to protect you, but it's also so that you get to finish those ends off nice and clean. The iron that I'm using, actually the curling iron that I'm using, doesn't have a lever. It's got 5 interchangeable rods on it. And I love that, having the diversity, you know, the range of products, having that available to me is really good. And sometimes midway during the same hairstyle, I'll switch barrels. So I'll use a small one and then a bigger one. And they're easy, they just clip straight off like that. And you can just keep them upright and they just clip straight back on again. There's 3 temperatures that you can use. So if the hair's a little bit sensitive, you can use a lower heat, lower temperature. While the hair's still warm, roll the curl on itself and then just gently shake it out, because that will give it a little bit of fullness and give it more of that romantic type look. Once you've got her length established, then you can start to bring the curling iron closer up towards the root area. Since Julia goes to school at Wilson Tech, is that part of BOCES?
Yeah.
And since she's been working for me, a couple of the girls at the Solar where I work on Long Island, where my suite is, have asked me if she has access to other assistants that are like her. And they said, don't bother sending me anybody that's, that's not as enthusiastic or as friendly or as bubbly and bright as Julia. And I thought to myself, that's you know, she's that's big shoes they got to fill, because she's doing very well. I'm finding that Julia's hair being sprayed down a little bit while it's slightly damp is creating the curl to stay put, as opposed to when her hair's freshly washed. You washed it today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So generally I would ask my clients to not shampoo their hair on the day of having a special occasion hairstyle done. it's a really good idea to ask your clients who are booked in for something like this to not shampoo their hair for a day or two, depending if their hair's oily. It's great to use a dry shampoo. I'd rather have somebody coming in with a little bit of oil and grit in the hair just from 2 days worth of running around and use my dry shampoo so I can control the level of fluffiness and flyaway. There's a lot of products out there now that will eat up anything. It's really bad to overwash your hair, and I've got so many clients that wash their hair every day. 2 shampoos and a conditioner, it's a lot. And I try and liken it to, you wouldn't put your favourite pair of jeans or your favourite bedspread or curtains in the washing machine every day. So you know how expensive jeans are these days, the really good pair that you love. You wouldn't throw them in the washing machine every day. So why do it with your hair? And everyone says, oh, but I go to the gym. But there's so many great dry shampoos. In fact, Muck has a really great dry shampoo they've just come out with. It's fantastic. So as you can see, Julie's hair curls up quite quickly, and I don't need to spray it too much because it's holding its own shape for now. How many students have you got in your class, Julia?
Right now, I think 25.
So 25 in the one classroom. And how often do you go?
School?
Yeah.
Every single day.
Every day? Every weekday?
Saturday and Sunday, yeah.
So every weekday. Oh yeah, Julia did her first updo competition today at school, and she's very excited about that. She said she did. Oh, the reason I'm talking for her is she's not mic'd up, so sorry.
I don't care.
So she said she did 2 braids, one on top of each other, and some pin curls as well on the sides. So she waits to find out when, tomorrow?
Yes.
The results come out tomorrow, so I'll be having my fingers crossed for her. Because now you're representing personalised hair design.
Oh, no.
No one remembers second, Julia.
Oh, no.
So Julia's hair is curling really easily. And the Muck Curl Stick, everybody that I've put this onto, they have messaged me and said this is fantastic. I used this on the hairstylist cruise, and there was a great discount code for that period of time. And a lot of people took the opportunity to buy it, and they have sent me messages with photos of how great the hair is. So this is by Muck. If you haven't heard of that product, we must have been under a rock, because there's a lot of barbering products by Muck as well. Constantly winning product of the year in Australia. It's an Australian-made product. It's now available here in the US and has been for quite some time now. But of course, with me today, so loyal, I have the trusty White Sands Infinity, which is not usually going to make someone cough.
No, that was I'm itch.
The White Sands Infinity is my favourite hairspray to work with because it doesn't make you get stuck. In fact, if you wanted to change the hairstyle halfway through, you can without your client even realising that you've changed your mind. You can easily brush through it. Let's say a curl's not working for you too well. You can just change your mind over and over again with this product. It's fantastic.
It smells really good.
It does smell good. So I've got the iron at 410 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm taking quite thick sections of hair. The reason I've got it on so hot is because I can control how long I've got the hair on the barrel. If you're using a lever, sometimes you're having the hair on the barrel for too long. But with the glove and wrapping it up like you're rolling up an old-fashioned car window, some people would never have done that in their life, but wrapping it up very quickly and ensuring that the ends are smoothed over. The thickness, the heat's got to consume that whole section. So it's best if you just count to maybe only 5 seconds, like 5 full seconds, not too long. And as I get closer to the section of hair that I want to cover up the top here, I'm making the hair a little bit curlier from the roots. And you'll see later on when she stands up that her length, it will still look as long as before we started. Now's the best time to start advertising for your bridal work. Here it's winter, So on the days when you're a little bit on the quiet side, or if you get a couple of cancellations or a snow day, now's the best time to start advertising and really starting to think about what you want to achieve in 2018. It's really important to have some goals, some long-term goals or some seasonal goals would do. That's a great start, is to have something for the season that you wanted to try. For example, you might want to join some of the mothers groups Facebook pages, because these ladies have children who are going to prom. They might be going themselves. They might be a guest at a wedding. It's a great place. It was actually Carissa, one of the girls that has a eyebrow studio now she's in Hopog. She was at Solar, Long Island, and she invited me to some of these closed groups where a lot of these women are looking for recommendations all the time. And it will often say, looking for somebody to style my daughter's hair on Saturday, any recommendations? And of course you can jump on there and recommend yourself, or you can go on and ask your clients to recommend you as well. One of the best things that I've done since I've opening the salon here in New York is, after my clients have their hair done, I generally take a photo if there's a dramatic change in the before and after, in the transformation, and I'll send them the photo and ask them to put it on their Facebook profile for a day or a week, or as long as they are happy to do. And it's created a really nice hype amongst their friends and family, where they've asked, you know, oh, your hair looks great, who did that? Just off the topic of updos, I've also got some Anti-Dot Pro here tonight as sample sizes. My good friend Frankie Felice, who has sent me over a whole heap of samples for me to give out to my barber brothers and sisters. It's a natural topical antihistamine that is natural, prevents redness and irritation from colour. You can put it inside the colour. You can shave with it directly on the skin. So the barbers that are working on sensitive people with the skin, you can actually use this as the shaving cream. In fact, Keon shaved my husband's face at Orlando Hair Expo. He used that as the shaving cream, and he is so sensitive. His skin is very, very sensitive. So there was no redness and no no problems, no stinging or anything like that. So it doesn't have a numbing agent to it. It actually prevents from the beginning. So if you'd like to know more about that, you can have a look at antidotpro.com. So antidot, ANTIDOT, PRO.
Nadine, real quickly.
Yeah.
We got a question from Matera Calandria online.
Yes.
Going back to the glove that you're wearing right there. She just wanted to know what type of glove that was.
So I have no idea what it's made out of. It's heat-proof, semi-heat-proof. What is it? You think? Oh, my husband's telling me it's Kevlar. But actually, it doesn't say what it's made out of on the inside. But it's only semi-permanent, so it's heat-resistant to a certain point. So it gets to about where where I can't take it anymore, and that's about time to take it off the hair as well. There are some companies, just in reference to the glove, there are some companies that have, it looks like an exfoliating glove. It's almost a plastic type glove, and I find that they're not great. So I can't name them because I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there is one particular glove that I'm not wrapped with because I feel like it gets stuck to the hair, it tangles in the hair too much. So Muck have a beautiful glove. It's very slippery. It almost feels like it's not on, and it doesn't interfere. It fits nicely, so it's quite snug. So it doesn't interfere with the feeling of the hair. So I don't feel like that. I don't feel like for a second that I've got less control just because it's on. I've seen some hairdressers put the glove on, roll it up, and then take it off, and then put it back on, but that will take way too long.
She also wanted to know if you know, because where you can get that glove, or do you have a brand that you like? particularly?
I like the muck, and I also like the keratin complex. Just buying them individually, I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
She might like to call Cosmoprof. I know Cosmoprof in Comac will most likely have it. Salon Centric, the heat, just ask, call up or look online for a heat glove. I like to speak to a person, so I actually call Cosmoprof in Comac and ask them tons of questions.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions that you like. Yes, so if you buy the curl stick, it comes with it. This is not something I've bought separately. It actually does come with it.
So before they ask, you might have covered this earlier, but then what kind of curl stick is it then?
Yeah, this curl stick is by Muck. It's
By Muck,
called
okay.
it's called the curl stick, Muck
Okay.
curl stick. You can even look on through the hashtags on Instagram, Muck curl stick. I've made a couple of videos on how I like to use it, and I might be able to show you a little bit better if I can get it lined up. There we go. I shouldn't hide this pretty face of hers, should I? Let me see if I can show you exactly in slow motion how I prefer to roll the hair up. So to get a little bit of volume at the roots there, I'll spray the Infinity and give it a chance just to air dry. And then starting at the base, just a little bit off from the base, and then wrap it around, and then roll it in a little bit closer to the roots, being very careful and mindful of where it is compared to the scalp. Then cup the whole rod, and then take the rod away, and you'll find that the curl is set in its place, like takes the complete shape of the iron like that.
So cool.
That's so cool.
I needed this last week.
What's that?
I needed this last week.
Did you? You needed it. It's always the way.
I don't do this very often, but I had somebody that wanted me to curl their hair and stuff for them. And so, making my barber's attempt at it. And I need a little bit more education, but this is good.
I know exactly what you're feeling because my friend Carlene, she brought in her son while she was having her colour appointment. And he said to her in the car, he's how old, Danny? 22? Yeah. He said, Mum, do you think she knows how to buzz? And she said, I'm sure she does. But, it's only because I've learned from you guys watching and doing a couple of classes here and there. I know a little bit, enough to maybe get by. So I know exactly what you pull it off, you somehow
exactly.
get through, you get through.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather say yes
Me too.
and attempt it.
Yep.
Yeah, family friend, they're going to always forgive you, aren't they?
Yeah, I think that's true.
It's amazing how much you can watch, you can learn just by watching. But the thing is, if you don't put into practice within a certain period of time, you lose it. Yeah, like how many Instagram videos have we got saved? I'm going to do my makeup like that tomorrow. Or, I'm going to try that fade with this brand and that. And it gets lost in the abyss. So you really have to take it slow and don't bite off more than you can chew and just take the time to set yourself up to practice the look that you want.
Nadine, while you're doing that, the other comment I wanted to ask you about is, since you've been educating,
Yes?
as far as coming here on the show and doing what you're doing, and other people maybe taking advantage of what this stage gives them, what you were just doing, especially like turning the model, looking at what she looks like to other people, how do you feel about the opportunity that ScissorSalute show brings to those people?
Well, I often, every time I've been here, I've visualised, I've been taught this anyway through presentation, but sometimes you just have on days, sometimes you have some off days, and sometimes people say, well, you would never know, but you know when you're on, you know when you're off. For me, I sort of feel like I always pretend that I've got a big crowd of various levels of experience, so that I'll at least engage with everybody at some point during the time. Also, thinking of the camera and the audience as the mirror that's in the salon, which is where we make the money really, and where we make our living. It's really great practice to be able to juggle a little bit. So it's a bit different because when I'm bringing her around this way, it is a little bit different to the mirror. Mm-hmm. It's in reverse on the camera. So I'm wanting to put down a piece of my hair from over there, and I'm trying to pat it down over there. So it's really kind of like...
Just, yep. But that was good what you said too, because I think that being able to connect with the audience and how you use the audience as your mirror. Sometimes I've seen young platform artists, and maybe you've seen this too, it shows where they go up, but they're cutting with the cut action on the other side, and when everybody's watching them, there's nothing going on.
It just comes back to a word and being, it's mindfulness, just being mindful of what your audience can see, which means you may have to stand where you are, but bring your model around and just be quite creative in how everybody's seeing it. Also going around the room, making sure that you've got some eyes with you and looking for the connection as you're going along. As soon as I start asking, don't you think?
Yep.
I can see in the crowd a couple of nods here and there.
Yeah,
So I visualise that I might have, between 10 to 200 people in the audience. Sometimes it's really like the temperature in the room, as in mood, is at like a 10. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes for that mood to get up. But I'm so used to that. I've learned that a quiet room is an attentive room.
True.
It doesn't mean they're bored. It might mean they're going, what? Or, wow. Or, I'd never thought of that. Or, I don't get it. So you have to learn the difference between what that silence means.
Yeah.
When
And not allowing yourself to think negatively while that silence is there, because you might think you're doing something wrong, but they're just listening.
Oh yeah, it's really easy to allow the little voices coming into your head while you're presenting, saying, "Is what I'm doing? Does everybody already know what I'm doing, or have they seen this before?" You want to try and keep as current as you possibly can. Not doing too many new tricks all at once either. Try and engaging the crowd, getting a feel for at what level you have in the room is good. Asking questions while you're working, all the while trying not to give third-degree burns.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
So it's like playing, the guy that plays the band and he's got the whistle and the clarinet and the drum and everything.
One-man band, yeah.
It's a little bit like that. So the first couple of years of doing presentations, I found it really difficult because you can keep talking and get lost in your conversation and then forget what you're up to with the hair. I guess having lots of long hair, and it's a bit different when you're fading. It's visual. You can see where you need to go. You can see what needs to be blended and faded and whatnot.
Yeah, but even with that, I think that you would have to, there's an avenue of paying attention, right? Because you could go out to talk to somebody, come back, and you're in the wrong spot, and go up with the blade or something, and you're took to something else. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's something that you've really got to keep your mind on while you're talking. So it doesn't hurt to be walking around the house rehearsing some of the hot buttons, some of the main key points that gets a good reaction. Trying to rehearse them in different various ways with different tones of voice and
Do you
different.
practice at home?
Yeah,
Does she
sometimes.
practice at home too?
I try to try to loosen everybody up a little bit. I get a couple of stories going while I'm setting, because doing a whole head of a set can be really boring when you've got all eyes on you, and a set can take you 30 minutes.
True.
Hopefully I haven't bored everyone too much, and I've completely set her hair now, like it's all done.
Yep.
So hoping to get an engagement of conversation going while that's happening. I was sometimes talk about some funny things that have happened to me, depending on what mood I'm into, because I've always got a handful of stories up my sleeve. Like recently, I was doing a wedding in the Hamptons. I was doing it for just the bride, her hair and makeup, and she had said to me, when you get close, I want you to pull up between the two cars and let yourself in. And I did, and I was in the wrong house. Yeah, I set up and everything.
You set up the whole thing?
Yeah, I could hear him upstairs.
Oh,
There's
nice
music on. I thought, this is really lovely. And then, and she calls me and says, where are you? And I said, I'm downstairs. And she said, no, you're not. You're driving a black Jeep? I said, I am. And she said, you're at the next door neighbour's house, I can see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but she did say, if they saw you, they would have said, just head on over. All right, so what I'm doing now is grabbing a bunch of hair from the front here, and it might look like I'm just randomly pulling out sections, but I am trying to make the hairline look as natural as I possibly can. Sometimes the hair, you can't help it, will land in the face a little bit, and I don't really want my clients touching it until I know exactly what I'm doing with it. So I'll often ask them to just close their eyes and just go with it, if that's okay, so that because they'll start moving the hair around, and it can really throw your confidence off, and you start questioning what it is that you're doing. So let them relax into it a little bit, tell them to close their eyes and think about a nice resort or something. But if it's a wedding day, they're not going to be in the mood for that, let me tell you. So I'm going to take some really big sections, and they're probably 5 centimetres. How big's 5 centimetres? Maybe 3 inches? Yep. And I'm going to twist the hair into the bun that I've made, and just loosen it up a little bit. You guys have seen this technique a million times. Just loosening it up to make it quite organic, but trying to bring out the curl, like utilise the set. A lot of stylists will do the set and then not utilise the curl that they've made. They just figure because it's curly, it's done. But I'm really trying to look for the actual curl. And I'll continue that. I'll do 2 sections. Two on the right side here.
Nadine, can you
Bring
turn
her
so we
around?
can see? Yeah, just a little bit. There you go. Perfect.
So I'll bring her around, twist the hair around, and bring that to the back there, and just loosen it a little bit. And then I open the bobby pins with my fingernail and run it right down to the middle, so at least it stretches it open. And I'll always go to the base first and then sideways. And if I feel like it needs a little bit extra, then I'll grab another bobby pin and I'll cross it over. But I won't do that first off. I'll wait and see if I feel like I've got it secure enough. The reason being is if I have to take it out for whatever reason, then it's harder to get a double pinned bobby pin. So if you tilt your head towards the camera there, oh wait, come up. Yeah, no, perfect, just like that. Go straight. So if you can see through here now, the texture has come really pretty right across the side through here, and it's created a natural wave through the top. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here and connect it because I don't want to see individual sections.
Mark.
I don't want to see the scalp.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I think you guys have somebody here from maybe the next.
If you're interested in doing a class and you're from anywhere in the country, actually, I'm offering $100 off to come to my suite. I've had girls from California come over. I've had a couple of guys from Indiana come over. So my classes are usually $499, but if you come to New York and you book me, I'll do from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It doesn't matter what level of skill, but I'll do that for $399 for the day. It goes from 10 till 4 p.m. And I'm keeping very busy with the classes at the moment. It's been a great thing. I've been traveling a lot, so it's been nice to stay home for a while, but now I'm getting itchy feet. So the Michigan class that Eli mentioned has actually been postponed to the spring, because I think I've probably booked it in a time where it's really iffy about it being really cold and the possibility of being snowed in and left on the tarmac. It's happened before, so I won't risk it. I'll go in the springtime. Michigan's beautiful. I've done a class there before at Grand Rapids at Rebecca Perez and Rachel Buta's salon. It was fantastic. I think it was called Illusions. Had a great time. So let's just see how the back's going. Remember, Julia's hair is all one length. So the tails of the hair from the side have come now from the middle back. But see all this romantic soft wave through here? There's inconsistency in the curl down here. So I need to be able to puff that up a little bit without making it look messy and like it's all stuck with product as well. And the way that I do that is keeping all of the length underneath. I'll wrap it around and I'll pull it and spray a little and then shake it and let it land, and it will puff up really pretty. It's quite dramatic too, so all the brides, they eat this kind of stuff up. They love it when you get all like So wrap it around the way the curl wants to go, not too tight, loose enough so that you can just pinch it and pull the curl up and spray it and then shake it so that it all sets in on itself. And arranging these curls is the most fun out of the whole hairstyle, because you can create so much fullness and so much really pretty texture that you would never know that it was done that fast with the barrel, with the curling iron. So see how that's now becoming more consistent, where the curl, you would never know just where it's all coming from. And you see the difference on this side where it's all solid. This hair here, you're set up for the curl to drop throughout the day. If you let her walk out like that, it's going to be straight by the end of the day. So we roll that around, spray it and shake it, and just pretty much wherever you see that it needs to change texture, or you want to create some layers, you see how that will just spring up really nicely like that. Ruby? Ruby's here? Is she? Ruby, hi Ruby. It is illusions?
Correct. You know what she confirmed that, I'm sorry.
Who confirmed it? Ruby?
Yeah.
She knows everything. She's so smart. There's something about wavy curly hair that still stays long and full that really fascinates me.
It's a cool shirt.
You like my peacock shirt? So onto the second side. Sorry, I'm giving everyone a run for their money with the camera here. Onto the second side, so take it, make sure you get rid of the hair that you're not working with so you're not getting tangled up. And it's a good idea to be a little bit rough with your sectioning so that you don't end up seeing scalp. Okay. Again, twisting the hair towards the back and flouncing the hair out. And then this last section is what's going to cover this round donut. Can you guys still see that that round section needs covering up? I don't start covering that up straight away, but in my mind I'm mentally keeping a section out so that I can cover it. If I cover it straight away, sometimes I'll lose my momentum. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Ruby feels like you learned that from your river dance.
Oh my gosh. She's got it in her head that I was a river dancer.
Well, you never told anybody.
You tell everyone I was a river dancer. I was never a river dancer. Okay, so here's the tails of the last section that I put in. And I'll just make sure that that pin is secured. So I will cross this one over because I'll be putting a little bit of pressure on this section. So I'll cross that over. And I'd really like to separate some of these curls here before I start covering that section so that I can place them strategically over the top. So 1, 2, I'll have 4 sections, and that will be enough to cover it, and it will also give some extra height. So I love that little padding situation that I used on the top there. It really was helpful. It wasn't too much, but it was enough to just confine the conceal that section of the hair. So it got rid of about 1/8 of all of Julia's hair. It's so much hair.
Yeah.
What colour are you going to go next, Julia?
Rose gold.
Yes. Who inspires you, Julia, in your...
Are you gonna think I'm cheesy if I say you?
Oh my God. I didn't really think that was coming. I was expecting to say, because you love all the Gai Tang stuff.
Oh well, I love Gai Tang.
Yes. No, I do appreciate that. And I'm more than happy to teach you as we start our brand new journey as my assistant, because you'll make a great little hairdresser, Julia.
Yay.
If you're keen, I'll teach you. If you're not, hit the road, Jack. So this will... Do I now, Danny? All right. So just finishing up now, I'm going to get Julia to stand up because she shouldn't be too tall for that camera, I don't think. There we go. Stand right there and put yourself in the line of the camera. You're in it? Okay. So I've gone a little bit more asymmetric. This is a very classic kind of look. This is a little bit like the Taylor Swift era when she first came out with her film clips, which is really cute. I'll turn you to the side. So you can see that that bun really was the right amount of height, and it is a cute look for her. For the top of the head, I was thinking of a top knot when I put the bun in, because those cute little top knots that make it on Instagram that get all those likes and repost on the big pages, they're always right on top of the head. They're generally never right back here. There's a cuteness that is about putting something right on the top of the head, and I try to go with that. Also, you can create more fullness by bringing the hair up and attaching it even more to there. So it's as simple as bundling it up and using the mirror as a guide, and that patch of hair that I had the bun in, I need to find that first so that then I can anchor the pin into. So you see that will create a little bit more fullness. And that's something that can be done at the end of the appointment, because when you show your client, it's easier to add more height than it is to squash something down, because it can really look like you'd squash something down.
Julie, you think Ruby Divine inspires you?
Yeah, really inspired you.
So I'll show you from the back here. See how the curls are more consistent too? Ruby Dawn Divine. She's a goonie.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
That sounds like a movie star name.
She's so famous, you have no idea.
Oh my god.
Stick with me, kid. I'll show you all the famous ones. Sorry for all the shaking around. I think it's from my shirt. So again, Julia has a ton of hair, and this is a great way to show off all the length. And I like to use the backs of my hands to fill in any of the strands where it looks like it's going to separate. And the back of the tail comb is a really great tool as well. It it webs everything together. Turn towards me a little bit. Yep. So this is a hairstyle that I think would look great at the Ohika Castle if she was going to a ball or being a bride there. But I love the look of the front with the curls, the tendrils hanging down. It's very soft and elegant, and it suits her profile. This is also a great hairstyle to use if the bride or somebody makes a comment that they don't want their ears showing. For some reason, a lot of women don't want their ears showing for whatever reason. For the record, Julia has cute little pixie ears. She has no problems there. But a lot of girls are very self-conscious of their ears or their nose and all that kind of thing. And you can make them feel a little bit more assured by covering the ears like that. And it's very, very pretty. Keep turning around. Okay. So that's a lot of body in a short amount of time, using the right tool, the right products, and having a plan in place. To eliminate a lot of the hair to begin with, I'm not doing more work than I need to, and all that heavy hair is just going to weigh the hairstyle down anyhow. So I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Julia. ScissorSalute.
1996, he was charged with I watched this dude change his life, man.
Just growing up being a silly kid with my brother, just wanted to be a different kid and have fun, make my mom, my grandma proud, stay out their way for the news, the music videos, actually being in motion pictures. Just wanted to think outside the box and be different than everybody else. For the fans and the supporters, wanted to build my own brand.
A little bit, but I can't see on your end.
Okay.
ScissorSalute, my brother.
He on the barbers on the phone.
Let's go.
15-year.
I don't have video of you on my end.
Oh no, you don't need to see us. We just need to see you.
I gotta find the seat to talk.
I'm played out. Yo, it's hot. Calling in from Greensville, South Carolina. Now this man is a member of the Goonies. One of the members of HEF.
I gotta find the area so I can sit and talk.
Got his own brand. His barber where he works is a studios. Not only get your hair cut, you can probably record some music, take some photos. The man of many trades. He also has a hobby of like designing his own clothes. He'll buy the clothes and like add stuff, add like his own flavor to the clothes. And he can also spit some bars.
Bars.
Lightly.
Oh, you was here doing
He said lightly.
And one
Can
of the
you
new faces.
look, I can't. I'm at the airport right now. I can't see video from my end on yours.
We don't need to see, you don't need to see us. We can see you.
All right, so I can't see
you got a
video
plaid
on
shirt
yours,
on.
and I don't know if it's. Let me see right now.
Hey, Keon, I can see you. You look great.
Nadi, what's going on? I look like I'm at the airport right now.
Well, we got that clear that you're at the airport.
We definitely can
Let's
hear the
make this announcement, the new announcement that you have with Cosmo. Go ahead, let us know. Let it ring out.
Say what?
With
I'm sorry, I'm trying to hear
Prof. Cosmo Prof.
Cosmo Prof, yes, the Cosmo Prof artistic team. I just joined it, more like they added me to it. It's a pretty heavy thing to accept. It's a big deal, but it's heavy for me soaking in because I still can't believe it's real.
Definitely, I mentioned how the Goonies started. You was cutting a hairstylist, and then everyone came together. Y'all all broke bread with each other, and the Goonies came about. Ruby Divine is in the chat room right now, chatting it up. And but you having another announcement about the Goonies. Since Nadine Donovan's here, go ahead. Let us know.
Yeah, we do. So everybody pretty much knows that a lot of people ask us about becoming a Goonie. How do you become a Goonie? And we tell them in general, to us, if you have the same mindset and the same thought process, then you're a Goonie in our eyes. But the Goonies are pretty much the OGs and people who met at 2015 BTC. But as far as everybody knows, Nadine has always been a Goonie because she's always around us and we're always around her and with her. So the world doesn't seem to know, or a lot of people don't know, that Nadine is now an official Goonie. Nadine Donovan, that's sitting next to you, is now an official Goonie. And nobody is more Goonie than that woman.
Well, Keon, let's get back to this some sort of unique studio that you have. Let us know what can be done there. I mean,
all right, so me and my photographer actually merged together, and we have a studio we call Artistic Collision Studio. And we call it that because it's just like a merger of so many different arts. We have videography, photography, barbering, social media marketing, and recording studio, all in one. So he's on the top floor with getting that set up for like everything, remodeling it, and then the barbershop on the bottom. And I'm gonna bring in a stylist and makeup artist. That way we offer everything in one. It's just super cool.
And now let's also get into the brand that you're developing with the dog logo.
Yeah, so it's called the Pit. Right now it's just
what?
Right now it's just called the Pit.
Say that again. It's called what?
The Pit.
The Pit.
Because it's a pit bull. And well, basically the logo is a merger of my two dogs. My dog that got poisoned a couple years back, his name was Solo, and my dog that I have now is Titus. He's a blue pit bull, and I had both. It just, they know what it is without having to have a word to it or a name. They just see the image and they know who it is. So, and it's off to a very, very good start, because when you see the pit bull, you know it's me. It's a geometric, a whole bunch of straight lines just to make up the design, and it's just real strong and powerful. So I want all the work that I put behind it to make it like just its legacy.
Now, I did mention you were part of HEF. How did HEF come about, and what's the whole purpose of it?
Who is this guy?
I did mention that you were a member of
Volume
HEF.
cut out a little bit.
Member of HEF, along with Rebecca Taylor. You guys basically started it. How did that come about?
Yeah, so I got added to the group like almost 3 years ago. Rebecca Taylor started it. Group for just hairstylists, professional hairstylists only around the world, and it was a secret group on Facebook. It started off just a couple people, and then it grew to a couple hundred, to a couple thousand. And Ruby, Shannon Kill, Heidi Greta, Adriana Dela Cruz, Lauren Stockton, everybody was already in there. And one of the admins found me in a barber forum and was just blown away by my stuff, and she wanted to add me in there. So she added me, and then they immediately we became family inside that group, and it was just all hairstylists all around the world.
Now, a lot of people claim to be passionate about the profession, but I mean, last time you came to the studio, you could definitely see that it's genuine.
Yeah, cool.
So, let us know again about this group, Cosmo Prof. Sefro, come here.
So,
Keon, please let us know about the Cosmo Prof.
Yes, the Cosmo Prof deal is pretty big. Make sure all right, yeah. The Cosmo Prof deal is pretty big. It's they only have 8 members on the team. There are 4 billion plus stylists in the world, 2 million in America, 2 million outside of America, licensed to date stylists. And they could choose anybody for these positions. They could choose anybody. It's Cosmo Prof. There are like 2 major distributors around the world, and that's
Well, places that I know,
loud. There are like 2 major distributors of hair products and stuff, stored locations around the world, and that's Salon Centric and Cosmo Prof. And Cosmo Prof started the Cosmo Prof artistic team last year with just Phil, Jacob, Larissa, and Christina Cretel and Lo Willa Davis, and they never had a barber on the team. They went this year and they wanted to add some people in, new talent and even more diversity to the team and broaden the spectrum. And they added in 4 people, Lala's Updos, which is incredible, laser hair and makeup. Oh my God, artistry out of Florida, all incredible people. And then for the barber, they actually they stalked me on social media and they chose me, and I was floored because I mean, without anybody wanting to sponsor me, I never thought about that when I went into social media and promoting barbering and doing tutorials and just helping people and answering any questions they had. I just did it for years, and they noticed that and they followed me, and then they finally just approached me and were like, I've been consistent, and they can see just this essence in me, and they reached out and they asked me what I thought, and I was like, come on. Well, I joined Cosmo Prof artistic team. What do you think?
Well,
and that just it kicked it off.
Well, we like
and
to
now
salute
we're the face of the company.
Oh, I don't know what that was. You there? Keon, you still there?
If y'all see me moving the cameras because I'm trying to get it close so I can hear because I'm at an airport and it's loud. I literally found a corner that's secluded so I could talk.
Well, it's all right.
Got pushed later, so I'm still in the airport.
Well, it's all right. Listen, we have Dante Financial here from the BBA. What is your thoughts of the profession having benefits, retirement plan, and the ladies in our profession having some sort of maternity leave, money management, barbers paying taxes? Keon, did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? Oh man. So I talked to actually my guy Ivan about it. We had a long talk, like an hour-long talk about BBA, and I think it's just an incredible idea. There has never, ever really been. So we know most barbers are self-employed, stylists too, for booth renting. Very few people work commission. Very few barbers work commission. Very few stylists nowadays work commission because everybody wants to be their own boss. But we've never had a true foundation that make people take us serious. We don't even take ourselves serious for the most part. I mean, I do. I know a lot of others do. A few others do, and here and there you're going to find people who truly take what we do serious and want to see its continued evolution. But there are just millions, and people who just don't realize we don't get the credit we deserve in the world as a real ideal business, and people who are just as much of a business as other businesses out there, legit, ideal, established businesses. And we need people to take us serious. And for them to take us serious, we have to take us serious. And me personally, having insurance as a barber would be the icing on the cake. We have everything else. We make our own hours. We make good money. But we need people to know that we want them to know that we will pay our taxes like the rest of the people out there. We are serious about what we do, and we want the world to know that we're serious and take us serious as we take them. So I love the idea of the BBA. I love the idea of women being able to have maternity leave as a stylist, and barbers being able to take themselves serious and their money serious, start investing in themselves and saving up and doing smart things with their money and doing smart things for themselves. And having insurance is definitely something that these families out here can use. Barbers, stylists, we all have families, and insurance is high. I would love to personally have some insurance to provide for my child that I am a father of, for myself. So I'm fully behind the BBA.
So, Keon, this is Dante. Let me ask you real quick. You just mentioned that, matter of fact, I'm going to talk to you off the air about that. Because you mentioned something that I'm not going to talk to you about. We're going to talk about off the air. But I will just say, to elaborate more on the BBA is pretty much giving you the opportunity to live your dream with benefits. How many people could really say they live their dream with security? Nobody.
Right.
There's not too many professions that people could say that they could retire comfortable from. Even with a job, you can't retire comfortable because a lot of people don't know you take a 60% hit of your income. So even as a hairstylist, if you retire and you're making $70,000, you're not gonna make $70,000 when you retire. Chances are, if you don't have a retirement, you're not gonna have nothing. But if you do have retirement and you do the
My
proper
volume
channels,
is cutting in and out. I'm listening as best I can, but
Well,
go ahead.
Keon-
I'm still listening.
Well, Keon, listen, we're gonna have to continue this discussion next week. We're gonna reschedule you to call into the show next week. We're gonna have you probably set off the show because I was a little bit hard on the communication. I feel like you achieved so much and been working so hard, and I feel like we should definitely do this again next week so we can have it a little bit more clear.
Actually, I think I need to make another trip up to Long Island. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
We're gonna
Keon.
ask all guests to come up on the stage because we are running out of time.
I think I should plan a trip to Long Island. Everybody here is loud right now.
Definitely should.
Yeah.
Keon, before we let you go, please let everybody know how they could get in contact with you and all your social media information that you'd like to share with us.
How are you, Dante?
Please do so now. The stage is yours.
Yeah, how are you? Nice to meet you. Yeah.
All right. So, anybody looking to get in touch with me, they can follow me on Instagram at Keon the Barber, Keon the Barber. You can find me with the Goonies. We have a page called the Goonies Official, which my family, the Goonies, I love them to death. Nadine Donovan.
Yep. Yes.
Goonies,
Hey.
the Strong Island TV. You can find me in Greenville, South Carolina at Artistic Collision Studio. And of course, at the Cosmoprop shows, Keon the Barber, because I'm on the Cosmoprop artistic team. My new family, my newest family, addition to my family. And anything that people want to get in touch with me about that has to do with barbering, that has to do with unity, that has to do with talking more about the BBA and helping people to push to get those petitions signed, you can find me at Keon the Barber on Instagram and on Facebook at Keon the Barber Official, my barber page.
Well, thank you so much.
thanks.
I really wish I could have just did much better on this interview, but I am really stuck in this loud airport with hundreds of people who don't care what I'm doing right now.
All right. Well, Sis Salute. Thank you for calling in.
ScissorSalute. Nadine, love you. ScissorSalute.
Hey, Keon, love you. Bye-bye.
Y'all be good. I'm going to go watch this game.
All right.
Safe flight.
Well,
How are you, Justin? You good?
come back over here. Well, we like to salute everybody who watch. Like to also salute Miami_Barber for calling in. Keon the Barber for calling in. Nadine Donovan for coming down here, showcasing, doing a tutorial.
pleasure.
Jesse That Cup for coming in, co-hosting. Where's Blazing Bruce? Where's she? Okay, and Dante Financial for coming in. We'd like to remind everybody to please continue to use the hashtag and Julia for coming down here. All ScissorSalute staff members and affiliates still go through the ScissorSalute hashtag and check them as much as possible. If you're liking this, please press the share button, which is underneath here. Share it. And just follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all ScissorSalute show. And I think we have time for ScissorSalute sound off.
There you go.
Put your hand in and then that's it. You're one of us. When I say scissor, you say salute as loud as you can. There's only 5 of us, so we're going to have to rock. Scissor!
Salute!
Please welcome me. Welcome me, people. I'm very
Everybody have a good
underneath the
night.
window.
Thanks for joining us.
Happy New Year.
ScissorSalute. And if you like...